We're looking at checklists, the checklist module. If you open the checklist module, you will see the completed checklists on your screen. The completed checklist can be filtered per user, or it can be filtered per checklist depending on what you want to see, so you don't have to go through all of the checklists to find what you're looking for. The information that you see in this table here is where a checklist was completed with the name of housekeeping, stacking and storage. It's linked to a management measure, and I highly suggest that you link your checklist to a management measure. The reason for that is if you've got a management measure that's on a frequent basis that you want a person to do a specific task using a checklist, the checklist already linked to that specific user with the task. So if they get it on an email, they know this is the checklist that they need to complete. Once they've completed the checklist, the system will mark the monitoring task off to make sure that the management measure does not fail. So the three modules is actually interlinked. It tells you who's actually completed this checklist, and it tells you when it was completed. On this, on your right hand side, you've got a tab that says view, and you've got a tab that says email. If you click on email, you can email the checklist to a person that's not related to Elint or is not a user of Elint, and it will email the checklist to that specific email address. If you want to see the actual checklist, see the detail within the checklist, you'll click on view, and it will open a PDF for you. Once you've completed a checklist, it PDFs that specific checklist. So this is an example of a checklist that was already done. It tells you the site, it tells you when the checklist was completed, it tells you the checklist name, who's completed it, and again the date. General notes that it's giving you of the general overview of what you've checked. If you've done an audit, you can put in your notes, you can put in your general comments for a specific requirement that you've audited. Then you've got all your questions. Should you have added a picture or a specific comment, you'll find it in the actual PDF as well. And then if we go to the bottom, you'll see it's uncontrolled if printed, because we've got our dates in the system stamped to say when it was done, and the logo that we can change to your company logo if you so wish to do so. So that's completed checklists. My checklist would be, if a checklist is assigned to a specific user, they will see their own checklist assigned to them, and they will be able to complete those checklists. All checklists would be all the checklists that's captured within the site, the specific site, and depending on who's the user, they will have different permissions to work in this section. I'm a master user, so I can work in this section. If I want to edit a checklist, so that this would be your administrator as well, I can click on edit. It will open the actual checklist for me, and I can add lines or take away lines and add wording or new checks to the specific checklist. I can also delete a specific checklist if I so wish to do so. This can only be done by an administrator that's got the permissions to do it. If I click on view, it actually gives me a view blank checklist that I can print if I want to, so that somebody can manually do that checklist, and then I can upload a scanned copy of the checklist as part of my monitoring tasks to say this has been done. But I can also complete a checklist online, so I can go in and complete a specific checklist. Take note, a checklist is not a yes and a no. The Elint checklist says, I have checked this. Is the storeroom neat and tidy? I have checked this. Is the stacking material safe and neat? I've checked this. But I've got a problem. My problem is that's unsafe stacking that I've identified. I can add a picture to this wording so that you have your record of why you say it's unsafe. I've checked it, I've checked it, I've checked it, I've checked it, I've checked it. It's not a yes and a no. It says, yes, I have checked it. If a specific question is not applicable, I still have to tick it and say, this question is not applicable to my store, but I have to check it. If I don't check all the blocks or tick all the blocks, I cannot save. Once I've completed the checklist, I save it, and it will go back into completed checklist saying I have saved it today, and this is the time I have saved it. To assign a checklist to a specific person, you have to first identify the checklist that you want to assign, and then you assign it to a specific person, and you just assign it. And you can actually assign it to multiple people, and you will see we've got multiple people assigned on that checklist. If I'm one of those users, I will be able to see my checklists assigned to me here, but I'm a master user, so I'm not signed in as one of those users. To add a checklist, there's two ways to add a checklist. The first is you can manually type in whatever you desire, and remember I said please select a management measure, so your checklist is managed through your management measures, and there's reminders sent out to the users. So we've got deep cleaning, arrange with contractors to deep clean. I can put another one, verify the deep clean with swaps. I can put another one, deep clean completed on insert date. So I can actually ask the user to insert a date when it was completed. If I add it, it will go to my all checklists. Here we are, deep cleaning that we've just captured. Checklists can also be done on our mobile site. Okay, so on your mobile phone, if you open the Elint mobile site, you'll find the Elint mobile section, and in the mobile section you just select your site that you want to or that you have access to. Those are the only sites you'll see, and in the mobile site you will be able to see your checklists, and again you will be able to complete your checklist just exactly the same as what you would have done on your mobile device, on your computer. The same thing with your continuous improvement. You've got the option to capture or to open a continuous improvement from your mobile device.